Dear viewers and listeners, it is always a pleasure talking to you. I hope that you have had a chance to look at the videos that we have done before and that you have enjoyed them. But even more, there is something special for you. I'm Dr. Duncan Elliot Tembo, and I'll be speaking to you on the need for safe food, or food safety, if you like. I would like to start off by, just putting this subject into context. Next to air, water, food is the most essential for supporting life. In other words, after air and water, food is the next thing that you need most. Food gives us the nutrients that gives us energy, that helps our body to fight and stay strong. And all the other functions, and that's how important it is. But when you look at this food, for it to work, it gets in the body. It has got to get in the body and deliver the nutrients there. If for any reason this food carried harmful substances, that's the same way in which they would be delivered inside our bodies. And I'm sure this tells you how vulnerable we would be if we were exposed to food that is not safe. But even more, you see, the rate at which we consume food is quite significant. By the time that you will be 70 years old, you would have consumed about 75,000 meals. That works out to be, about 1,100 meals per year. And if you divide it by the number of days in a year, that brings you to about 2.9 meals per day. You will see that actually I'm very economical. I've taken into consideration, all the reasons that would lead to someone not eating. Maybe prayer and fasting, and just any other reasons. Now, that 75,000 meals, which is even more anyway, I wish to argue that over 30% of that is not prepared in our homes. Think about those times when we step out of our homes to go and have meals out there. If you calculate all those, you'll find that it actually occupies, over 30% of the 75,000 meals that we consume. The food that makes up that 75,000 over 90% of that is not grown by ourselves. With globalization now, it's easier for food to move from one country to another. You know, we are eating bread that has been produced from flour, you know, produced from wheat that was grown in Ukraine or perhaps in Russia. We are eating pollen that has traveled all the way from South Africa. We are having cheese that has come from very far. And, you know, that is how far food can move. If for any reason food carried harmful substances, I have no doubt that we would be very vulnerable. If food was to be weaponized, it can actually be much more destructive, even compared to, you know, some of the weapons that we have known. And this is where food safety comes from, or starts from, if you like. You know, as a consumer, we all expect safe food. No one wants to be exposed to food that is not safe. And you see, if each one of us had a way, we would rather, you know, first of all, inspect where the food that we consume is being prepared from, is being processed from. But yeah, I think all this is just to tell you that the need for food safety cannot be overemphasized. But I would want to mention that, you know, looking at the length of the food chain, food can be contaminated at any point. And it's against this background, you know, that we mention, or that we say that food safety is everybody's responsibility. As food moves from the farm to the fork, we have a producer who has a duty to ensure food safety. We have a manufacturer who equally has a duty to ensure that they do everything within their control to put safe food out there on the market. We have a transporter who also has a duty to do the same. We have regulators who should also come up with policies, with regulations, you know, to ensure food safety. But we also have consumers. We also have got a duty to make sure that we store, we handle, we prepare the food in a way that keeps it safe. Food safety is a shared responsibility. Obviously, I do not take out the fact that, you know, as human beings, I think we believe everything that we see so much. I'll give you an example. If you are getting on a plane, I have no doubt that you ever ask and say, well, before I get on this plane, can I see the license for this pilot? How long he has been flying? I mean, we don't do all that. We just step in and there we go. The same when we are getting in vehicles. We don't ask who is driving, whether they are competent or not. We just speak, and we feel safe from inside that, it is well. And that's exactly what we do, even when it comes to food. You just pick food on the shelf. You pick a bottle of water. You pick a fruit or anything else. And we are comfortable that it is safe. Obviously, this is what is expected. And our hope is that we will all do our part to make food safe. Food safety is everybody's responsibility. I hope you will do your part. Thank you for listening.